Good morning and welcome to Cable Television Advisory Meeting Board of Tuesday, April 13th, 2021 at 11 a.m. via Zoom teleconference. As chair of the Cable Television Advisory Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accord with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to executive order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access Zoom, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for the meeting link. To join by phone, dial 1-929-205-6099, meeting ID number 865-9516-2421, passcode 999999. The public may also view this meeting on Comcast channel 16. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have been provided on the City of Nashua's website at www.nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and at the Nashua Public Library. If anybody has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that have been taken during this meeting shall be by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call of attendance. Then each member states their presence, the reason they're not, when each member states their presence, the reason they're not able to attend the meeting in person, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Also, if you could announce who you are before speaking, it will help the transcriptionist when transcribing the minutes. All right, the roll. So we'll call the roll now. Andrew Cernotta is here. Sally Highland.
Sally Highland, I'm here, and there's no one in the room with me.
Oh, yes, after I just realized I did not say that there was no one in the room with me either. So to add that, Alderman Ernest Jetty.
I'm here alone.
Kim Kleiner.
Here, and I am alone.
Cheryl Lindner.
Here, and I'm alone.
Jennifer McCormick is not here.
Nope, I'm
here.
here.
You are there. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Captain Medeiros.
Dan Medeiros, I'm here and I'm alone in my office.
Nick Mesrovich.
Nick Miserovich, I am here. I am remote in observance of social distancing guidelines, and I am alone.
Okay. Chief Brian Rhodes.
I'm here in my office alone.
Okay. And we have Jeff Painert, Pete Johnson, Attorney Steve Bolton, and Dick Gagnon with us as well. And a member who, someone who will hopefully as of tonight become officially a member, Cole Morgan, also on the call. Okay. Our agenda has a period for comments from the public or others. All right, so we'll move on to acceptance of minutes of previous meetings. The minutes for the March 12th meeting are the subject. And actually, I think we'd also have to accept the minutes that we were not able to accept as at that meeting. Is there a motion with regard to the minutes?
Brian Rose, motion to accept.
There's a motion to accept the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move on to a roll call vote for the acceptance of the minutes. Andrew Sonota votes in the affirmative. Sally Hyland,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Kim Kleiner,
Yes.
Cheryl Lindner,
Yes.
Jennifer McCormick,
yes,
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Nick Mazerovich,
Yes.
Captain Rhodes, all right, Chief Rhodes.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. There is no written communication other than those the reports which Mr. Painert will proceed with. So we'll move on. Mr. Painert, would you begin?
Sure will. Our current balance of the operating account 2505 is $606,568.94. Our expenses for March 2020, including salaries and facility operations, total $20,689. We had 1,055 cable casts in March. Of this, 49 were live, and this broke down to Public 96.3, Education 99.28, and Government 16.18. We had 1,006 playbacks, and of this, it broke down to Public 96.478, Education 99.287, and Government 16.243. Excuse me. Due to my misunderstanding of the legal script to be followed at the outset of each CTAB meeting during this COVID pandemic crisis, we must ask that you reapprove financial requests that we have made since the outset in March 2020. For the sake of expedience, I have listed them in succession below, and the detail of each can be found in that month's CTAB report. Please note that as we actually were the last meeting to take place in the chamber before the bottom fell out the following week, last March, March 2020 is not included. In June 12th, our June 12th meeting, we asked for a TriCaster backup switcher, and that was in an amount not to exceed $12,500. In our September 11th, 2020 meeting, we asked for the room 208 upgrades, that we were going to upgrade the entire room 208, and that was in an amount not to exceed $24,000. And in December 11th of 2020, we asked for a sports camera replacement, and that was in an amount not to exceed $3,500. The total of all our requests during the year and up till now is $40,000. The Aldermanic Chamber redesign and room 208 upgrades. As we are approaching the date where we will begin the hybrid version of our Board of Aldermen meetings, that is, some aldermen physically in the chamber and others virtually in the room via Zoom, seen on the monitors and heard over the speaker system. Upon a completion of a review, we found that we have all the hardware in place in the control room to transmit both Zoom and live in-room elements over to Comcast, but need an additional cable run and hardware from the control room out to the chamber so the members can see and hear the Zoom participants feedback free. As everything that goes from one section to the next in City Hall is labor intensive, this run will cost $1,796 to accomplish. Now, of this, $597 is for hardware and $1,199 is for installation. Now, in room 208, upon review of the setup, we found that a second monitor is needed for proper viewing of presentations in that room, as well as 2 Ethernet drops at each monitor so IT can install microcomputers behind them. These additions will cost $2,484. So for both of these additions, we request approval to cover the cost not to exceed $4,300. Now, on the formation of the committee, as we discussed at our last meeting, our current franchise agreement is coming to an end in 2022, and we will need to form a committee concerning this. we continue this discussion today. And Pete? Your
Okay,
turn.
as far as Nashua ETV is concerned, our programming accomplishments for the month of March 2021. We had live playoff basketball coverage from Bishop Girton, Nashua South, Nashua North, and we moved on and did the semifinals of the girls state basketball championship, and that was from Sanborn High School. And that was one of the first times I believe we've gone live from outside of Nashua, at least on our own equipment. We also recorded 2 public health matters programs in the studio, and due to NHIAA regulations, we were not able to do the BG girls basketball final live, but we did record that and play it back for our audience. And that was held at Sanborn Regional High School. Nashua ETV stayed busy through mid-March with conclusion of winter sports. In addition to creating our own content for air, we continued to work with other community stations and live streamers to present coverage of several games played outside of our area, including the boys Division I state title game won by Bishop Girton. The Board of Education has decided to move their meetings back to the boardroom at Nashua North beginning in mid-May. We'll begin to bring back equipment that had been moved to the studio last March due to the pandemic and the need to produce remote meetings from a central location. Spring sports competitions begin this week. They started yesterday, actually. And we had our first live baseball game from Holman Stadium between Nashua North and Merrimack. And that game was shared with Merrimack Cable TV Channel 21 as well. So it was able to be seen both in Nashua and in Merrimack. We'll continue to provide as much live coverage as possible, as parent and fan participation will once again be limited. We'll be working with the Nashua Athletic Department and Bishop Girton High School to provide equipment to live stream games that we will not be able to cover from both Stellos and Holman stadiums. And those will air directly to a Stellos and a Holman YouTube page that were set up by the school district. And that's it for my report.
All right. Is there a motion with regard to the?
I think we still have an Access Nashua report.
Yes, I figured we'd handle that separately.
Okay, all right.
Ms. Kleiner?
So I would imagine that the committee would like a motion in regards to the past expenditures. So
I think we'd be covering that. The actual, this is really more with regard to the report itself. As far as the motion with regard to the past expenditures and the current expenditures, we have financial requests under new business.
okay, I'll
So I thought we'd deal with that then.
make a motion to accept the report and place on file.
Okay, any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Andrew Sonota votes yes. Sally Highland,
Sally Highland votes yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Ms. Kleiner,
Yes.
Ms. Lindner,
Yes.
Ms. McCormick,
yes,
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Mr. Miserovich. Nick? Oh, you're muted.
Yes.
Chief Rhodes?
yes,
All right, motion passes. Okay, Access Nashua report. Mr. Gagnon.
Great. Good morning, everyone. Since January 1st, we have done approximately 80 shows, excuse me, in the studio. Most of them are all our standbys that have been with us for many years, such as The Ring and All of the Sports, Fairy Tale Access, Nashua Strong, People's View, Exit Team Nashua, Speaking with the Senator, CHW, which is Community Health Worker, Perspectives, Charged Up, Frankly Speaking, Gate City Chronicles, and Chick Chatting. We've added a new series called Empower Hour, and it's with the Greater Nashua Mental Health. They just completed yesterday their 4th episode. We have in development a show that will be with St. Joseph's Meals on Wheels. And then we have 2 public members who are in the queue after that for their own shows. Dan Young, our creative director, who works on all the shows that are in development, is also working with the Art Symposium and a puppet craft show, which really is looking quite interesting. Once again, Access Nashua has submitted videos to the National Alliance for Community Media Hometown Video Festival. We also, Pete, Dan and I were also a voting team for that festival. And hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll have the results. And once again, hopefully we'll have some more awards to talk about. Excuse me. Holland, who's our editor, is still editing from home. Once we get all the town equipment back to its location at City Hall, we'll be able to start having people come back in and work on editing stations. And Holland will be the first one. That's it for my report.
All right, are there any questions? All right, is there a motion with regard to the Access Nashua report?
I'll make a
Vote, accept,
motion.
place on file.
All right, there's a motion to accept and place on file. I didn't see who actually made the motion. Oh, Chief Rhodes. All right, if there's no discussion of the motion, we'll move on to a roll call vote. Andrew Cernota votes in favor. Sally Highland,
Yes, I'm in favor.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Ms. Kleiner,
Yes.
Ms. Lindner,
Yes.
Ms. McCormick,
Yes.
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Mr. Mizrovich,
Yes.
Chief Rhodes.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right. We have on our agenda committee reports from the Education Committee. I don't see Mr. Rodriguez here today. I think we'll have to skip over that. Okay, old business. We have the Comcast franchise agreement renewal. The request is the creation of a subcommittee with those members suggested by the mayor's office that was made during the PEG manager's report. I'd like to open that up for discussion as far as any questions about the formation of that committee, and also brief discussion as far as how we're going to proceed. We have basically a fact-finding period that we are in the process of now that we'll need to accelerate. We're expecting a proposal from Comcast in the June timeframe, is my understanding. Is there discussion let's get back, start at the beginning. Is there any discussion of the formation of that subcommittee? Mr. Mizrovich?
Do we have to wait for Mr. Morgan to be confirmed tonight before he is on, before the subcommittee is formed?
Attorney Bolton, is it permissible to have people who are not technically members of the board added to the subcommittee? Does that create any sort of issues? Otherwise, I think that this is more just about getting the work done than.
I don't think it creates any significant issue.
Okay. So I think Mr. Morgan's help would be valuable on that. Any other discussion? Does anyone want to be on the board that's not on the current recommended list? All right, perhaps we have a motion then regarding the creation of the subcommittee.
Was there, I just had one quick question. At one point, they had discussed potentially putting staff on there. Where did that stand?
I don't know that it was resolved, but I think Attorney Bolton's comment earlier means that would be open to having staff on there as well if need be. My expectation is that staff would have quite a bit of say as far as certainly aiding in the fact-finding purposes of that subcommittee, and would be doing a lot of legwork one way or the other.
So this is Alderman Jettie. Jeff Pennert is listed on the committee. Did you want more staff people on there? I don't know who asked the question, but
I think it was Mr. Johnson, and I know that he had some interest in participating himself. As I say, I would expect that we would be making quite a bit of use of his skills and knowledge in the process anyway, whether he was officially part of the subcommittee or not.
so again, Alderman Jettie, Mr. Chairman, you asked if there was anyone who wanted to be on the committee who was not already named. So is Mr. Johnson saying that he would like to be on the committee?
I think I would like to be on the committee. For the last 10 or 11 years that I've been with the city, anytime we've been to regional or national conferences, I've always attended the franchise renewal segments of those. So I'm pretty familiar with what's going on nationally, and I think I have something to offer to the committee. So.
Okay, and so again, Alderman Jettie, so the chairman is asking if there's anyone who is not named who would like to be on the committee. So is there anyone else besides Mr. Johnson? If not, I would make a motion that that a committee be formed to negotiate the current franchise agreement, and that the members include Kim Kleiner, Nick Misrovich, Cheryl Lindner, Jeff Painter, Mr. Johnson, the Corporation Counsel or his designee, and Chairman Cernata, and also Mr. The new member who's
Morgan. Cole Morgan.
I'm sorry, Cole Morgan. Is that
correct?
Yes. So all of those people.
Ms. Kleiner, did you have a question or comment?
I have a question. So looking at the past formation of the committee, particularly the last renewal, the last contract negotiation, there was an alderman that was on the committee. And I wondered if we should not reach out, if Alderman Jettie isn't available, at least reach out and ask the president if that is the wish.
I think that would be helpful.
I would be happy to be added to the committee.
Okay, so we'll add you to the list that were recited in your motion. All right, any other discussion of that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Andrew Sonoda votes in the affirmative. Sally Hyland,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Ms. Kleiner,
Yes.
Ms. Lindner,
Yes.
Ms. McCormick,
Yes.
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Mr. Mizrovich,
Yes.
Chief Rhodes.
Yes.
All right, and since all were in favor, the motion is carried. All right. Since we have now created the subcommittee, we'll need to basically have that subcommittee meet and proceed with putting together both the list of materials that we'll need from Comcast, but also planning public hearings and also surveys and the both of consumers and of the city departments to find out and assess the needs going into the renewal. Is there any other discussion that we should be having, or that members of this board want to have before that committee subcommittee meets? If not, oh, I'm sorry, Sally?
Is Brian Christensen still the representative for Comcast?
Yes,
So he'll be that's who the committee will be negotiating with.
that's our point of contact, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's nothing else, we can move on to the new business, the financial requests, which I suppose in this case is probably both a mixture of new and old business. Are there motions with regard to the financial requests?
So, Mr. Chairman, Alderman Jettie here.
Yes.
I move that we ratify the committee's previous vote to authorize the purchase of the TriCaster backup switcher for $12,500, the room 208 upgrades in the amount of $24,000, and the sports camera replacement in the amount of $3,500 for a total of $40,000.
Okay, there's a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I believe there was an error on that. I'm looking back at the December meeting, and I thought that number of $3,500 was not correct. It was actually $8,500. Might have been a typo there. I'm not sure, but I just want to make sure that the number was correct because we already spent more than the $3,500. So
All right.
So what is the correct number? Is it?
It's $8,500 was not December purchase for the sports camera package.
Okay, so
So I guess we'd add
will amend my motion to reflect
Jeff, you're muted.
8,500 for the sports camera replacement.
All right, and just I do want to also kind of confirm for the record that all of these purchases went through the usual city channels as far as acquisitions and purchasing, in addition to our own review of them. it wasn't like our approval was the sole means for approving these. That's correct? All right, I see Jeff shaking his head yes. All right, is there any discussion? Oh, Mr. Mizrovich.
So does that bring the total from 40,000 to 45,000 now of total spent for the previous meetings?
I believe the math is correct there.
Okay, just want to make sure we state the correct amount.
Yes. All right. If there's no further discussion, we'll proceed with voice roll call. Andrew Sonoda votes in the affirmative. Sally Highland,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Ms. Kleiner,
Yes.
Ms. Lindner,
Yes.
Ms. McCormick,
Yes.
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Mr. Mizrovich,
Yes.
Chief Rhodes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Since everyone voted in the affirmative, the motion has passed. All right, with regard to the new financial requests, is there a motion?
Yeah, Alderman Jettie moves to authorize $1,796 for the additional cable run and hardware from the control room to the aldermanic chamber. And the 2 Ethernet drops at each monitor, and for a total of $2,484.
Okay, is there any discussion of the motion? Mr. Mizrovich?
That's also to add a second TV as well.
A second monitor, yes, I see that now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any further discussion?
Just a question. The total here is 4,300. If I add those two numbers, it's 4,280. Okay, not to exceed 4,300. Sorry, I take that back.
All right, any other discussion? If not, we'll move to roll call. Andrew Sonoda votes in the affirmative. Sally Highland,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Ms. Kleiner,
Yes.
Ms. Lindner,
Yes.
Ms. McCormick,
Yes.
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Mr. Mizrovich,
Yes.
Chief Rhodes.
Yes.
All right, since everyone voted in the affirmative, the motion passes. All right. And I believe that is the end of our new business. Are there any comments from members of the public who are present? Seeing none, any remarks by members of the board? Ms. Highland.
I just want to reiterate that the Household Hazardous Waste program is starting up with the first event this Saturday. All events this year are going to take place at 25 Crown Street, the park and ride lot. So I just want to be sure those listeners who may participate in that know the new location. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other remarks by members? Seeing none, is there a motion for adjournment?
I notice on the outline that there are like 3 or 4 motions to adjourn. So I guess.
I noticed that actually on the outline, each of our roll call votes was a motion by the Board of Aldermen to adjourn. So I've been trying to edit on the fly.
Okay, well, it looks like Mr. Painter wanted to make sure we adjourned. I will make that motion that we adjourn.
Okay. We'll be doing another roll call vote. So Andrew Sonota votes in the affirmative. Sally Highland,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Ms. Kleiner,
Yes.
Ms. Lindner,
Yes.
Ms. McCormick,
Yes.
Captain Medeiros,
Yes.
Mr. Mizrovich,
Yes.
Chief Rhodes.
Yes.
All right, the motion, since everyone voted in the affirmative, the motion passes. And we are adjourned as of 11:36 a.m.